Good morning, YouTube. It's another beautiful day here. I was just wrapping up some morning chores, getting some laundry started, some dishes, and then filling up the water tanks. But I got 3 things I'm gonna update you on here real quick. And then we're gonna go ahead and get straight to work on continuing that trench. We got a lot to do. So first update is the burn pile. Let's see how we're doing here. So not so great on these big stumps. I'm kind of dumbfounded a little bit. I don't know what to do to get those to burn a little bit better. All the brush, all the branches did a really good job. Sorry for the sun there. But these big stumps just don't want to burn for some reason. I have some other brush piles that I could bring in, and maybe we can kind of get this thing restarted. I'll maybe build it up on top of those stumps, but that kind of leads us into point number 2, which is I had a conversation with the concrete contractor last night, and we're gonna push forward for Friday. We don't know what the forecast is gonna do at this point. We're showing 50 to 60% chance of rain, which isn't ideal for pouring concrete, but at this point the plan is he's gonna come out on Wednesday and we're gonna start getting all the forms ready to go, so that if the weather does cooperate, we'll be in a position to be able to pour, which I'm excited for. I even was asking him, like, what happens if it does rain? Is there a problem? And he's done some pours where the weather's just been perfectly clear. They get all the concrete poured and everything. They get ready to get on it and start working it, and then a big thunderstorm comes out of nowhere, and so they just worry about pooling and puddling. But he says one in particular, they had a huge slab. Thunderstorm came out of nowhere in the middle of July. There was, over an inch of rain that fell, and they had puddles all over the place. And they just kind of mopped it up, got all the sitting water off the concrete, and then worked it. And he said that was probably about 15 or 20 12 to 15 years ago, and the slab looks great today. He just saw it a couple months ago. So it doesn't mean that it's going to be a failure if it does rain, meaning the integrity of the slab isn't going to fail. It just makes it a little bit difficult, and it might hinder the finish or the appearance of the finished slab. So so that's kind of what we're at. If I build up this fire again, I don't know if we necessarily want that going and all smoky over here, because on tomorrow is Wednesday, so they're going to be here tomorrow. So I might let this thing die down for a little bit, just so that we're not doing all the work and smoke. I'd hate to have to do that to the guys. So it's still probably going to be smoldering, I would think, in 24 hours from now, but it just won't be as bad as it would be if I put fresh brush on it. So, so update number 1 was, let's see. Okay, so that's the fire, that's concrete, and then now we're on to some work. So let's just recap here what we got done yesterday. I was having a hard time getting the tractor in and amongst these small trees to be able to dig this ditch, but I will show you where we're at. We've made some decent progress. That's probably about a foot lower right here than where we were over at the hydrant. However, you can see I got a nice big boulder right there to contend with. So that's okay. I might see if I can get that pulled up, but that thing looks pretty big. So we'll probably just go right on top of it, and we'll continue the trench right through here, right through these trees and over there. Once I get past these trees, I'm expecting it to get a lot easier, because I can just move the tractor and just kind of stay ahead of the trench line a lot easier than having to maneuver between the trees. So I'm gonna get to it. We'll see how much we can get done here today. But I definitely want to make sure that we've got this whole project done by the time we're ready to pour, if we pour on Friday, so that we're not cutting up concrete later on to trench in our plumbing. All right, so I had to call a little bit of an audible there. I'm not sure if I like it or not, but let me show you what we've been doing. So from this angle, my original plan was to go right through there. And you can see, so that you've got this split top right over here. And then I've got 2 smaller trees, one of which, the closer one to us right here, is dead. Dead. So I was fine with that being a potential casualty, because that's going to come down at some point anyway. But then once I got going, I saw that I kind of had this straight path that I was going through with the backhoe. So I went to that side of that split top. And once I clear that tree, I pretty much have a straight shot all the way back over there to where we're going to go underneath the slab. So I think I like it. Let me show you. So it's going all right here. I'm hitting some roots of this tree. So I think this guy, we weren't going to be able to let this split top go on forever anyway, because of the liability of one of those branches breaking off and then becoming unstable, and then who knows, it could fall on a car or on a kid or something like that. So I'm okay with this, because those roots are now going to weaken the stability of that tree. So I'll just have to plan on that coming down along with the dead guy over there. But I'm going to follow this path kind of right through where the tractor's aimed at this point. And then just to the side of that tree, let me hold this here a little differently so I can point it out. So just right through here, and then we'll kind of curve it back that way by the barn once we clear that tree there. And that'll help me also stay away from that big old stump, because I'm pretty sure there's some large roots coming out of that thing. I still might hit them even going, 6 feet away from it that way versus going 1 to 2 feet away from it. So we'll have to see what's under the ground when we get over there. But I think I'm okay with this path. the downside of this is that I was planning to backfill to supplement the 4 feet that we need on top. So I was going to pile on some dirt, and I figured it'd be fine because we already have this built up kind of pad area for the RV. So I was just going to extend that a little bit. And now that I'm coming farther away from it, now I'm either going to have to build it up some more, or there's going to be like a little gully. And then it's fine over there, but as we start to get away from it a little bit more, now, so that tree's gonna come out, but now I've got this guy, which is probably not gonna, it's been crowded out and it looks like it's starting to die anyway. So that one would have the ground level, once we build that pad up, is gonna be, you know, 1 or 2 feet up the trunk, which is gonna kill the tree anyway at that point. So I think we've got to do this the way we need to do it. All three of these trees are going to be casualties, and that's okay. That's okay. It's the right way to run. This is the only place we can really run this water line, and it's the right way to do it. All right, so I'm gonna say we have cleared obstacle number 1, which is the trees. So we've got the trench line all the way down there, all the way back over by the hydrant. We just cleared this big stump here. In fact, I'm surprised we didn't run into any larger roots in here. I might still find something over there as I get into that old driveway over there. But nothing too big that we couldn't just get through here with the backhoe. And so that's that. Now the next challenge here is going to be something completely different. Where those trees were in our way before and we had tight spaces, over here we have a cliff. It's not really a cliff, but we definitely don't have the width of dirt up there to be able to drive the tractor out there, although I probably am going to try it. But I got our little drainage ditch for the laundry that we're going to incorporate into our pipe trench here. It's going to run through here and all the way through back to the back corner over there. We're going to go across the driveway here, but the big challenge here immediately to us is that the backhoe works best as you drive the tractor forward, and then you kind of dig behind you as you go forward. If I try and drive forward through there, I'm either going to roll off the cliff, I'm going to fall in that little drainage ditch, or both. So I'm going to have to now get a little creative with digging the trench through here. It's, I don't know, 12 foot span. And but what I'd really like to do is get the backhoe on this side, drive up or back up as much as I can to the ditch here, and then reach the arm out. If I can reach the arm out to halfway across this barn, and I feel like I can maybe get pretty close enough here where I can dig it the rest of the way. We'll see how that goes though. This is gonna be a little sketchy. But we need a ditch. We need our trench for our plumbing. Once we get past the barn here, we should be home free. Because then it's just gonna come down here, and somewhere on the ground here we'll get it. I mean, of course we got some rock, which is gonna be fun to deal with. But somewhere over here we're gonna tie in and then come out onto the slab or underneath the slab and then pop up underneath where we're gonna make all of our connections inside. I still think we got the hard part done. As long as I don't roll the tractor off the bank right there, we'll be all right. All right, I just opened up and drained the dump basin that we had here for the laundry, and so all that water's come down here. I also kind of dug the trench back to the road underneath it, and then I backed the tractor up here as far as I can, and I just wanted to come down here with the camera and kind of see. So it's not quite halfway across, especially as I lose some of that reach as we go down, but I'm getting pretty close. I'm thinking that the best strategy here might be, I'm gonna let this dry a little bit because it's pretty muddy from the moisture. I'm gonna reach here as far as I can get. I'm gonna let this dry out, and then I'm gonna come back in and I'm gonna fill in both sides of the trench through that little dump area. And I'm gonna see if I can't get it stable enough to where I can drive on it with the tractor, because it's definitely wide enough here. It's just not wide enough back here, and especially it's starting to slough. Over in this area, it's sloughing off down there. So I'm gonna get close to where I need to get with this reach, but it's gonna take a little bit more work later. But I wanted to show you that real quick, and let's see how well this one works out. All right, well, that wasn't too bad. I don't know if you could see it well enough with the shadow, but we kind of created the shadow, which is the trench here. Only get about 2 feet down, which has been pretty consistent with what we've seen all over the place, but we're close at this point right here. We're almost halfway through the distance of the barn, and all the way back to the road. So now at this point, all we have to do is we have to get from this point to the end of the barn, and then beyond, wherever we're going to drop it down and bring it underneath the slab. And we got to get through the road right there, right underneath where the tractor's sitting. But I'm waiting for that just so that we don't cut off our access going up and down. No, this is fine. This looks like it's good. We got all the water out. It drained. It's already drained into the ground quite a bit. This part right here is definitely going to be the sketchiest. We got to try it, right? We got it, and the tractor's still on all 4 wheels. I'm alive, and we got ourselves a continued trench. So we're now almost to the end of the barn, and I had a thought as I was doing it. So first of all, I'm happy that went well and it was successful. But we were going to bring it into the slab here somewhere. Well, let me just show you a reference point. So this dot on the ground right here is supposed to be the far back corner. And so I was gonna bring it in about 20 feet towards the front of the shop, and bring it into that line, or that wall that we would have, where we have all of our beams that are supporting the front wall of the upstairs apartment. But if you look at this bank, we're gonna have a hard time just getting the water lines 4 feet beneath the ground, and we're already starting from an elevated position. So to be able to get to here and then get down, even if it's not 4 feet, even if it's 2 or 3 feet, I know that there's bedrock right in there. So it's just not gonna happen. So I'm gonna almost have the water line coming at the slab above grade if we do it there. And it'd just be kind of weird tying it into the building, because you're gonna have a big, at least temporarily, until I can figure something out, we're gonna have a big mound of dirt just to keep it from freezing up. I think the better idea might be to run the line just from where the tractor is, kind of parallel with this road, but I'll keep it to this side so that the road's there, and then we got kind of like this, I don't know, maybe we'll plant some grass or something on it later. But we're running all the way down to the end of the slab here, and then take a look at this. Off the back of the pad, it drops off quite a bit. I wouldn't say quite a bit, but at least a couple feet. So take a look at that. So if I can run the line down here and then through here and then back into the rear wall underneath the slab that way, I think that's gonna be the best bet. I can easily add fill dirt right here and get it up to 4 feet. In fact, it probably would help because we're gonna be matching the grade there. So I think that's gonna be a much better plan. That's just ugly, you know, going along there and having it be so high. It's only gonna be 2 feet above, below the surface at best. And then if we smooth that back, we're gonna be even taking some more of that off. So we're gonna have to come up with something long-term, whether it's pipe heaters or something like that, so that I don't have this big, huge mound right next to the shop. But I like running this all the way down to the end and then going underneath the slab from this back portion. I think that just makes a lot more sense. And at least we have a way and a plan to keep all the pipes buried in under 4 feet of dirt this year so that we don't freeze them up in our very first season, because that could make for a very bad winter. So I'm gonna keep trenching here. The sun is going down, so we're gonna have a sunset and dig a trench. All right, the sun has now set. We got a little bit of light left. And I got my buddy Adam here. You gonna help me out on the backhoe? All right, you gotta dig a big trench, okay? You got it? Go ahead. All right, I think that's gonna be close to calling it for the day. We easily got around this barn okay. We got, I don't know, another 12, 15 feet past. Ended up right here. Past the barn though, I was able to get through that, whatever it is, like sandstony shale a little bit better. So I think we're close to 2.5, 3 feet right in here, and it looks like it's okay here. So that's good news. The deeper we can get on this trench, the less we'll have to cover it up or come up with some other alternative pipe heating system. But let me just kind of real quickly here before the sun goes down completely and it's dark, back up, and I'll show you all that we got done here today. Obviously would have liked to have finished the whole thing, but I'll take it. So from where the bucket of the tractor is to the front of the mini barn, 30 feet, probably 30 feet. That's a 20-foot long barn, so 32, 34 feet over there. Get out of there, guys. The kids were playing in the fire. All right, and then so about 35 feet, I'd say there, 32 to 35 feet. And then over here, we ended up this side right here by where the road is. And that's about 20 feet. We got ourselves another 40 feet over here. So I'd say today in total, obviously lots of interruptions. It wasn't a full day of work just doing the trenching, but we probably got about 70, 80 feet, probably about 80 feet done. So that's a good day's work. I'm happy with that. And if we take a look at what we have left to go, again from the bucket right there, there's, I don't know. Let's see. Let me add this up here. So to go from where that is to the back of the shop, 40 feet. And to go from the shop kind of around to where we bring it in the back is probably another 40 feet. So I'd say we probably have another full day. If 80 feet is the gauge of what I'm able to get done in a day, I probably have another full day of that, assuming the digging is the same. But we had some obstacles today. I think over there it's going to go a little bit faster, but because I'm able to get through that brittle sandstone, it's actually taking a little bit longer to go over each linear foot because I'm able to dig it a little bit deeper, and I got to work and kind of scratch at it a little bit. But I'm happy to have that done here for today, and we'll keep going till we get it all done.